Lamb dog, you bumped your head. First off, I'm sure if I sat here and thought about it, I could come up with reasons why a double-edged knife is a tool. So, in fact that you're labeling it as not a tool or whatever, wouldn't that just be kind of Nazism? I don't know. I'm just going off of what you said. Yeah. You're giving up reasons on why, knives are this way, all that other hoopla. It's no different. When anybody interjects their reasons on why something is, that's it. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Just the fact that they interject. That's what's wrong with our society. Doesn't matter what comes out of their mouth. It's just the fact that people interject. But the cop thing is much bullshit. First off, he is going to be charged with filing a false police report. That's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's just how it is. Alright. He filed a false police report. The police report he filed was bullshit. So, okay, cool, whatever. But when you call in and say tell the cops that so-and-so has a gun, you are essentially fucking whoever that person is. And this happens a lot. And you think that all cops react the same, and they don't. Even if you watch Cops, you'll see this trend. That when they don't know, they're going to give you the benefit of the doubt even though you're grabbing your waistband. Some of them will cut that benefit very short, but they're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. But if they're told you have a weapon, you've used that weapon in a commission of a crime, they're not going to use that doubt, because the court will allow them, the leeway to suspect this guy is armed and dangerous and he is going for a weapon. Imagine what that cop felt like when he went over there and rolled him over and realized that guy didn't even have a gun. I don't know that whole story, but one of the versions I heard was that guy was the driver, and there's not even a possibility there's a possibility he might not have even known about the crime itself. I don't know how true that is. I don't really give a shit. But if that's the case, and all of a sudden you got a whole bunch of cops pulling guns out on you, just think about this for a second. Just think about puckering up when you have 20 guns pointed at you. And you're busting a sag. And your pants start to fall down. You don't realize what's going on. You don't realize the cops think you really do have a gun. You are fucking shooting people have a gun. And you go down and grab your pants. Now I understand you don't understand about busting a sag because you've never done it. But you pucker up, you get that butt lifted up, You have nothing for it to hold on to unless you are a white man that doesn't have a posterior. Then you won't know anything about it because it just falls down anyways. So anyway, yeah. There is a huge difference. And if a cop suspects someone has a gun, Just grabbing for your waist does not give them the thing. Usually, there are fine lines there. The cop can go, look, you know, there have been cases where cops have gone fucking down because that person didn't have a gun and they shot them. And there was nothing there to tell them that this person could be armed. You know. So that's why they put, you know, wanted, you know, considered dangerous and all this other shit. They don't put that on everyone. But they do put it on people they suspect could be dangerous. And at that point, if a cop acts in the, you know, instantly, without even, you know, seeing the barrel, without seeing the cylinder, without seeing the hammer, or anything of the gun, he's got some sort of a fucking legal leg to stand on because he just shot and killed someone. Because, you know, under the law, there's nowhere in the law that says a cop can shoot someone, or even a civilian. We don't have a right to shoot someone because they grab for their fucking junk. We can only shoot someone if they are a threat. That cop shot before because he was told these kids were armed. So, yeah, there is a difference. And, you know, it goes back to one of the situations I was in when I got pulled over at gunpoint by Mr. Al. Think of a 2 Live Crew song. Fuck Martinez. Fuck Martinez. Used to play that when I get pulled over. I wonder why. But anywho. It didn't make anything better. But when he pulled me over, he radioed in a felony stop, and he told people I had weapons. So Butte County Sheriff's Department came back them up. They pulled me out, they pulled my friend out, we're a felony stop, walk backwards, cross your feet, your ankles, whatever, all this other shit, handcuffed, face down, you know, knee in the back of the head, all this fucking bullshit. Because I'm suspected of construction thievery. I just got off of work at Burger King. I still had my uniform on. I still smelled the fucking hamburgers and everything else. And I'm getting pulled over. Just because Mr. Al Martinez was a dickhead. Shit, I said his name. But anyways. So... after it all ends up, this happened in front of my dad's boss's house. I didn't know it was his house. I didn't even realize he was standing outside watching this. I didn't even realize he knew who I was. But it wasn't cool when they told him that I was at construction sites stealing shit from lockers. And my dad's an electrician. It doesn't look good, you know. And then come to find out that, you know, Martinez radioed in that I had weapons. And so when they came, you know, this big fucking thing, if I would have farted wrong, I could have got shot. And afterwards, which helped me out when they cleared me from the crime, because it was a pickup truck that was fucking called in, not a Ford fucking Escort. Oh, why I was still at work. And they were black. Still a little pissed off at that. But Butte County Sheriff's Department blew up on Martinez because they were told it was armed and dangerous. And come to find out that the crime that I was pulled over for was committed by someone in a truck that was African American, and I was a whitish guy in a Ford Escort. And how would he know that I was armed and dangerous when it wasn't even put out in the first bulletin. So all that came ahead. He got in trouble and he wasn't allowed to fuck with me anymore. And I got to thank the Butte County Sheriff's Department for taking my side and helping me out. I could have been shot that night. They would not have wasted any fucking breath of shooting me because of anything. There's another incident across the street from my house before I moved to Magalia where a guy came home, found his wife playing his WoW character, and I shit you fucking not. I am not shitting you. He goes out onto the patio, pops a round off. I'm sitting here talking to people on my CB. I hear the gunshot. I reached over, grabbed my 40, said, okay, what the fuck's going on? I hear the scanner call. Wife's fucking freaking out. Or boyfriend, sorry. And they're older too. They're in like their 40s. She's like, I came home. I'm on his WoW account. He's flipping out. He's pacing around out with, with a gun. Fucking cops show up. They stop pretty much in my backyard. 3 cops go in. One with an MP5, one with an AR, and one with a pistol. 55 rounds later, the guy is gone. I mean, gone. Did they even hesitate to anything? No. They came around the corner as 3, and as soon as they saw him and saw his hand, it was done. Over. Complete, finished, gone. And I'm sitting here and I heard the full auto of the MP5 and I can hear the AR going off and the pistol, and I was like, Jesus, man, that was 50 rounds just like that. Yeah, they ain't wait. No, they don't. You make one slight move after they've been told you have a gun, you're fucked. If they don't know you have a gun, yeah, they're not gonna just fucking shoot you, or they can go to jail for it. They have to prove it. I mean, they have to go in. They have to show they're professional. They're not like us. They're not like a little 100-pound woman. A 100-pound woman could be afraid of anything. A cop who's been trained in self-defense and trained to handle his weapon and all this other bullshit and should know what reasonable apprehension of immediate death or danger is not just going to shoot someone because they grab for their waist. If they do, they run the risk of going to jail for it. It doesn't give us a right as a civilian to shoot someone just because they grab for their waist. They could have crabs. It doesn't give anybody the right to shoot someone. Now, if they start pulling out something metallic, I love that one. I really do. I like it when cops are doing pat-down searches and they say, I felt something hard and metallic-y. It's like, how the fuck would you know that? But they're insinuating gun. But if you start to see someone pull out, I mean, let's be realistic here. You got all the way up to the time that he's aiming, 30 degrees out to blast him. So you got plenty of time to see whether or not he's pulling out a weapon or not. Yes, at the end of the time, that might be 1.56, seconds. But shooting him at 0.01 second or 0.0001 second is not gonna be okay. You gotta know he has a weapon. You can't just blast him. A civilian might be able to get away with it. Okay? Might. A lot of scrutiny, depending on the DA, might get away with it. A cop? Probably not. And that's why you see cops being tried for murder or manslaughter or whatever. because they shot someone who didn't have a gun. If they didn't have a gun on him, they couldn't have shown enough that he had a gun. You know, it's not obvious. If they didn't have a gun on him, they couldn't have pulled something out of their waistband that looked like one. So they got shot. Now that cop's sitting on a fucking stand. The only way the cop's going to get out of it if he's been told. You know, if he's got a wanted sheet saying that this guy's a lunatic or whatever, and he is armed and dangerous, if he shoots that guy before he produces a gun, he's going to probably be okay. If he's got a 911 call saying, I just got robbed by gunpoint from these guys here, and they catch up to him, they haven't even really proved that this guy was even involved in it or anything. And they catch up to him, and the guy grabs his fucking junk or whatever, grabs his pants because they're falling down or whatever the fuck. He doesn't know that they think he has a gun. And he gets shot without even producing anything because he doesn't have one. Now a cop would have been covered if that, you know, if the story, you know, was true. But the story turns out not to be true. And the only reason the cop isn't getting fucked over on this case is because the person lied. That person's actions directly affected somebody's life. He's going to get false police report. I don't know if he gets involuntary manslaughter, but you know what? If he does, good. If you can't be an adult about it and go on with your life, you know, you don't need to go out and start fucking telling other people have guns and all this other bullshit. Because I just as easily could see Lamb Dog walking down the street with his wife and call up the cops, you know, and cut myself a couple of times and sit there and say this motherfucker who just mean mugged me has a gun. He just fucked me up. Cut me, he has a gun and a knife. Cut me all up and all this other bullshit. Oh wait, you actually do. Oh, fuck. That ain't gonna be good. Because now if they even see the handle, you're fucked. So what about that, Lamb Dog? What do you think about that? What do you think about carrying shoulder or something like that, and I get a little fucking pissed off at you and I call the cops and said you did something? It's not like people don't do that all the time. And then they see the gun, they get really fucking itchy with you, and they end up blasting you. But then it turns out at the end nothing really fucking happened. But should I just, you know, walk away? I don't think your wife would be okay with that. I don't have a problem with laws until they really fuck with freedom. A lot of laws out there suck, but they don't really fuck with freedom. If the guy gets fucking manslaughter for what he did, he fucked his own freedom by taking someone else's. That's his problem. He doesn't fuck us. We don't call 911. We don't make false police reports. So it doesn't bother us. It's not our fucking deal. You know, it's one of those fucking deals. Who gives a shit? Because it doesn't affect us day to day. Now, gun rights issues are a different story, because those affect directly our freedoms. We should be concerned about those. California is a lost cause because nobody's on the same page. California will not ever be back again. You know, people are trying to tell me that the California open carry will be back again. Fuck no, it won't. They're smoking some good shit if they think that. But anyhow. Don't let me see you walking down the street when you're carrying Lamb Dog. Just saying. Might have to blacken my own eye and break my own nose, but I could say pistol whip me. The problem is people don't think today. They think about themselves. They don't think about anyone else. They don't give a shit about their own actions. They don't give a shit about what their actions does to others. We don't even know if the story's even true about the laptop. If he lied about the gun, said he didn't lie about the other thing.